gonna collapse. Nick Hajazi, the founder of the Mendes cartel, the Natty King, the last true Natty crusader, the one true heir to O'Hearn's Natty throne, and the president of the Natty Republic, El Presidente himself. Gentlemen, this is how you build a big chest, shoulders, and triceps. This is my full push workout to build a big chest, shoulders, and triceps. I'm gonna run you through it all, explain it in detail, let you understand how I do it, the structures, the systems, the rep schemes, how to train, the kind of general sequencing and order I follow, the exercise selection. I'm gonna break it down to you in detail, in depth, how to build an elite physique naturally, how to really set up a quality push session and maximize your gains, build a big chest, shoulders, and triceps. I'm gonna run you through it all now, boys. Full push workout coming. Let's get it. Oh, sweet baby mama! And gentlemen, quickly, before we get into the workout, for full access to all of my training and nutrition programs, join my online community, the Mendes Cartel, link in the description. You'll also have 24/7 support from me in there via the community feed and Zoom calls as well. And if you want to go an even further step than just being in my online community, the Mendes Cartel, and you actually want full-on one-to-one coaching, go to my Instagram link in the description and DM me the word cartel. And lastly, gentlemen, Natty Republic merch. Let me show you this beautiful merch. This is one of the samples. This is not the color we're going to release. We're actually going to release a wash gray version. Natty Republic merch is on its way, boys, so stay tuned. This is coming, Natty Republic. If you're a true Natty crusader. Oh, sweet baby mama. All right, ladies. The first exercise we're doing is weighted dips. Weighted dips are the upper body squat. Nothing beats it. Weighted dips are the pinnacle. If you want to build mass in that upper body, the chest, the shoulders, the triceps, there is literally no better exercise than weighted dips. It's the truth. You can hear the train going over the Temple gym. You can hear the train going over this physical culture putney gym, the oldest gym in England, while I speak. But boys, if you want a big chest, weighted dips, weighted dips, weighted dips, weighted dips, weighted dips. Nothing builds mass in the chest, the shoulders, the triceps like weighted dips. If I could only do one pressing movement for the rest of my life, it would be weighted dips, because it hits absolutely all of those upper body pressing muscles, the chest, the shoulders, the triceps. And I'm starting this push day with weighted dips, because there is no better way to start a push day than weighted dips. If you can get strong on weighted dips, and you look at all the elite calisthenic guys, you look at their chest, their shoulders, their triceps, they've got incredible upper bodies, and the only real pressing movement they do is weighted dips, and they've developed incredible upper bodies. And it just goes to show, they're living proof, the calisthenic guys, that you can build a great chest, shoulders, and triceps just purely doing weighted dips. It hits everything. The way I structure my weighted dips in terms of reps and sets is reverse pyramid. When I start heavy, low rep, then decrease the weight, increase the reps on the back offs. Okay? That's how I structure it. Reverse pyramid training. Reverse pyramid training is the most simplistic way to progressively overload and get stronger. Starting low rep and heavy, then decreasing the weight, increasing the reps on the back offs. You get the best of both worlds. That low rep heavy poundage, and then that higher rep, more kind of bodybuilding back off work to really put blood in the muscle and really focus on hypertrophy on the back off. So I'm going to start low rep heavy, 50 kilo, 2 20s and a 10. And what the rep scheme is here, so the rep scheme here is aim for 2 heavy sets of 5, then do 2 back off sets of 8 to 10. And on the last back off set, just the last one, I want you to do a drop set. Once you hit failure in that 8 to 10 range, drop the weight by like 30%, bang out another set to failure, then drop the weight. Actually, no, don't drop the weight by 30%. Drop the weight by 50% and bang out another set to failure. So on that last set, once you hit failure in that 8 to 10 range on the back off, that last back off set, drop the weight by 50% and bang out another set to failure, and then go straight into body weight. It's a double drop set. Go straight into body weight after that and bang out another set, purely just body weight to kill your upper body off. Right, this is my top set though. I like to lean slightly forward when doing this, to activate a tiny bit more chest. All right, let's go. Oof, this is tough. Nice 5-piece, I'll take that. Weighted dips are actually one of my weak points that I'm trying to bring up. All right, final set. I've done 3 sets already. I did 2 sets of 5 on 50 kilo, 2.5 plates, 2 20s and a 10. Then I did a set of 8 on 40 kilo, 2 20s. Now I'm gonna do another backward set on 40 kilo, but do my drop set as I explained earlier. So try and get 8 to 10 reps in that range. Then drop the weight by 50%, take off 1 plate, go down to 1 plate, do max reps till failure, and then just go body weight, do max reps to failure. Double drop set to finish. This is how you build an elite all-time upper body. This is how you do it. Weighted dips, nothing beats this in the oldest gym in England, physical culture, Putney. Let's go, chaps. Everything, intensity is everything, boys. Let's go. I'll call that 8 reps. Now into 1 plate. Oh man. It's the upper body squat for a reason. Those are so taxing, it's nuts. Straight into 1 plate. Let's go. Let's go. First set cooked me. A lot of the time you don't get many reps on the other sets because you're already fried. That first set just takes it out of you. Now straight into body weight. Bang these babies out. I'm cooked. Partials as well. So boys, that's how I do it. Basic reverse pyramid. Heavy sets, low reps to start, 2 heavy sets of 5, then 2 backward sets of 8 to 10. On the last backward set, I do a drop set. Once I hit failure in that 8 to 10 range, I drop the weight by 50%, go to failure, then go body weight to failure, reverse pyramid. That's normally how I train. On a bulk, like I'm bulking now, lean bulking, I'll do that style of training, reverse pyramid. You can incorporate more advanced strength progression systems and do different types of work and more advanced rep schemes and more advanced strength programming. DM me the word cartel for one-to-one coaching if you're interested in how to do that. I run that a lot of the time with my clients with dips, but the most simplistic way is just reverse pyramid. And occasionally you can use a slingshot. These are good as well for overload work, but I wouldn't recommend doing it too often. Don't do overload work in assisted reps and slingshot work too often. Incorporate it strategically and intelligently. Now on to strict military press. Let's go to strict military press. Oh, sweet baby mama. El big boy, El big boy, El big boy. They call me the big boy in town. They call me the big boy in the jungle. All right, chaps, strict military press. There is no other combo. I don't think there's a greater pressing combo than weighted dips and strict military press. Weighted dips and strict military press are the 2 greatest pressing combos of all time. If I could only do 2 pressing movements for the rest of my life, weighted dips and strict military press. That upper shelf is where an aesthetic physique is built, not the lower chest. Most men genetically have overdeveloped lower chest. Everyone has, lower chests. You're born with a lower chest. It's just, if you want a great physique when it comes to the upper body, you have to build the upper shelf, the upper chest, those front delts. That is really where you pop and you stand out. It's the upper chest, the front delt. So nothing builds that quite like strict military press. Strict military press is a brilliant pressing movement, great combo to combine it with weighted dips. You're starting with some proper mass builders here in this session. Strict military press, boys. Keep this strict. No knee dip, no leg drive. Really keep it strict. A little bit of backward arch is fine. A little bit of arch in your back is normal. It's fine. It's necessary to press heavy. A bit of arch. Don't go too much though. And no knee dip, no leg drive. This is purely strict, all in the shoulders. Okay? This is my favorite shoulder mass builder of all time. So what we're going to do here is 2 heavy sets of 3 and then 2 back off sets of 6 to 8 reps. So 2 heavy sets of 3 and then 2 back off sets of 6 to 8. All right, 80 kilo. Try and get a nice heavy set of 3. Let's go. Come on now. I'm a little bit cooked after weighted dips. No excuses. Oh, man. Last rep was tough. Again, intensity. Intensity. All right, back off set time. This is such a taxing movement. It really is. It just really taxes you. It's such a manly movement. It's one of those movements that just, after you finish doing it, you just feel like an absolute warrior. Incredible exercise. All right, let's go. Back off set. Did 2 sets of 3. Now I'm going to try and get a nice 8 piece on 70 kilo. Again, very strict. Really make sure you don't use any leg drive here. Don't dip your knees. It's not a push press. It is not a push press. Do not turn this into a push press. A lot of guys turn their strict military press into a push press. And they miss the point of the exercise. They start using more leg than shoulder. Hit the rack when I was doing it. When doing this exercise, I prefer a slightly narrower grip on shoulder press movements compared to chest. I go slightly wider. I feel when I go slightly narrower, the grip slightly narrower, I activate more shoulder, whereas when I go slightly wider, I activate more chest. So I go for a lot closer grip when I do shoulder presses, whether that be seated or standard. And for chest, I go a little bit wider. Have my pinky finger on the knurling here, on that outside knurling. But yeah, for shoulder presses, I go a slightly narrower grip. I feel more activation. All right, next exercise, lads. We're doing a final pressing movement. And I know what you might be thinking. You lot might be thinking, oh, that's a crazy amount of pressing volume. Doing 4 sets of weighted dips, 4 sets of strict military press, then doing 2 sets here of a machine press. You're going to be thinking, that's 10 sets of straight pressing, which is a lot, yes, but my style of training is high volume. I like going high volume, high intensity. That's just the way I train, okay? I'm showing you how I do it. You can get away with doing less volume. You don't need to do as much volume as me. Just because I do this much volume does not mean you need to do this much volume, but I train like an animal. I train high volume, high intensity. I just respond well to high volume and high intensity. And I've been training a long time that my body's learned to recover with that type of load. So 10 heavy sets of pressing. We're just doing 2 sets here, obviously to control a bit of volume. We've done 4 sets of weighted dips, 4 sets of strict military press. So just 2 sets here. We're doing straight sets, aiming two sets of 8 to 10 on a machine chest press. You can choose any machine chest press available in your gym. Ideally an incline, because I'm always going to prioritize and bias the upper chest, because that's the most important part of the chest. But if you don't have an incline chest press available, you can do a flat as well. The only chest press I would recommend never doing is decline. Decline's a disgrace. Decline's disgusting. Never do decline. But if you don't have an incline pressing movement, I prefer you do an incline. But if you don't have an incline, you can do flat. It's fine. All right, let's go. 2 sets of 8 to 10 to close out the pressing before we get on to the fluff work, the accessory work. Really focus on controlling the eccentric and full range of motion on everything. Ooh, to failure on everything. Go to failure. True failure. Achieve true failure. A lot of you guys allow the mind to fail before the body. The body should always fail before the mind. Your mind should want to keep going, but your body should quit. Don't give up before you've actually hit true physical failure. A lot of you guys do. But yeah, 2 sets of 8 to 10 here, just straight sets. All right, next exercise, chaps. We're doing a side delt movement. I train side delts with double frequency every week. Side delts are probably the most important part of the shoulder, at least for me, because I do have overdeveloped front delts in comparison with my side delts. And when it comes to building a wide physique and really gaining width in your physique, in the upper body, gaining width in the upper body, those side delts, having big side delts is what makes you look wider. It makes your waist look smaller, and it gives you more of that V-taper look. So really building out your side delts, you should really focus a lot of your shoulder volume on side delts. I train side delts with double frequency, like I said. And the way I train side delts is high rep, going high rep. I don't believe I get a good contraction, a good connection with side delts when I go low rep. Occasionally I'll do heavy partials on like dumbbells, for instance. But when I really connect well with my side delts is when I go higher rep in that 15 to 20 rep range. Okay, 15 to 20 reps, high rep, not going crazy heavy, but maximizing full range of motion. I'm doing machines. We're doing machine side laterals next. Machine side laterals are next up. That's the next exercise, machine side laterals. We're doing 3 sets of 15 to 20 on machine side laterals. 3 sets of 15 to 20 on machine side laterals. Okay. And on this last set, this is my 3rd set. Okay. On this last set, I want you to do a drop set. Once you hit failure in that 15 to 20 range, drop the weight by 50% and bang out another set to failure. On that final set, do a drop set. On that 3rd set, do a drop set. Drop the weight by 50% once you hit failure in that 15 to 20 range and just bang out another set to failure and incorporate some partials as well. All right, let's go. Not about going heavy, high rep, maximizing range of motion, machine side laterals. Choose any machine side lateral available in your gym. This is quite a good old school piece they've got here in Physical Culture Putney. And if you hit failure before you hit that 15 to 20 range, then incorporate partials until you get there. And now I'm going into a drop set. A key thing here, boys, by the way, is make sure your shoulder is placed in line with the axis of rotation. Make sure your shoulder is placed in line with the axis of rotation. That way you're going to get the fullest range of motion and the most constant tension. Make sure your shoulder is in line with the axis of rotation. This machine's good because it tells you where the axis of rotation is and where to have your shoulder. So make sure that shoulder's in line with the axis of rotation so you get the most constant tension throughout the entire range of motion. You should feel a horrific burn. Oof. All right, lads, the next exercise we're doing is a rear delt movement. Rear delts are technically a pulling movement, but we're still doing them on push day, okay? Because the rear delts are a part of the shoulder, which is considered a pushing muscle. So I do a bit of rear delt volume on push day as well as pull day. Just like side delts, I do double rear delt frequency, okay? Rear delts are one of the most important parts of the physique. And if you have, maybe the most important part of your physique, and if you have big rear delts, they really make your physique pop and they give you that aesthetic look. They make you look so much more aesthetic if you have big rear delts. So I train rear delts on push day, not just pull day, but push day as well, double frequency, because shoulders are a pushing muscle and the rear delts are part of the shoulders. So some people consider them pulling, pushing. For me, yes, they are a pulling exercise, but I put them on push day. And rear delts are so important, just like side delts, maybe even more important than side delts, rear delts. They're such an important muscle when it comes to the aesthetic development of your physique. What we're doing here is a seated reverse cable fly, okay? My cable stack's a great cable stack because you can adjust it horizontally. Most cable stacks you can only adjust vertically, you can't adjust it horizontally. But most cable stacks you get in Pure Gym or the gym group, in these commercial gyms we have in England, or if you live in America, whatever commercial gym you train in, or whatever commercial gym you train in around the world, most commercial gyms only allow you to adjust the cable stack horizontally. That's fine. You can still do it from a wider angle. You can still do it from in a wider cable stack if you can't adjust it horizontally. But it's better if you can move the cables as close together, the cable pulleys as close together as possible. So that's what I'm doing here on my horizontal adjustment, is that I'm moving the cable pulleys as close together as possible. And you want to kind of have these cable pulleys about shoulder height, give or take. I'm going to lean forward slightly so my shoulder's going to go a little bit lower. You're crossing the cable stack like this. Lean forward a touch to isolate those rear delts. And keep your arms relatively straight. Lean forward a touch. And this is not a heavy movement. Just side and rear delts aren't heavy movements, okay? Unless you're doing kind of like a heavy cheat set or an overload exercise, like heavy partial, something like that. Again, really focus on the contraction and maximizing range of motion. Oh man, Oof, the pain should be unbearable. All right, ladies, finally on to triceps now. And the way I like to structure my tricep training is I like to do one overhead movement on push days and then one normal kind of just push down or press down or extension. So this is the overhead movement we're doing. We're doing seated overhead V-handle extensions. I'm using a normal bench here, just a normal flat bench. If you've got those little short benches with a backrest that aren't too long and too high, so you can still get the cable overhead, use them. My gym doesn't have one of those. If your gym does, use one of those short little benches. If you've got one that most gyms have, those are brilliant, and that way you get a bit more back support and you get a bit more stability. But doing these, I like doing an overhead movement to get a bit more long head activation on the tricep. The overhead biases the long head a touch more. So I like doing an overhead movement, which is more of a power mass builder with the seated V-handle overhead extensions. And then I do more of a finisher exercise after this that I'll show you. But let's go. Second set here. We're doing 3 sets of 10 here. Just 3 sets of 10 straight sets. Again, 3 sets of 10. Just 3 sets of 10. Very, very simplistic. Okay, mass builder. Try and go quite heavy here. 3 sets of 10. Oof. The hardest thing here is just getting in position. That's the hardest thing. So this is what I do to get in position. Kind of just... Oof. Yeah, once getting in position is the hardest thing, and then, especially if you're going heavy. Quality movement, very, very tough. A little tough on the elbows too, but the more you do it, the more that connective tissue and bone density improves as well as the muscle. All right, final exercise, lads. Final movement, tricep exercise, last exercise. We're finishing with a seated incline rope extension. Well, whatever this is, if this counts as a rope, there's some kind of rope, long, and use the long rope here, okay? We're doing a seated incline rope extension, but use the long rope attachment. Use something like this that's long, because we want to maximize range of motion. The longer the rope, you can really open up your triceps, gain far more range of motion in that bottom range, really extend the set at the bottom. So use the long rope here and really maximize the range of motion, okay, with this nice long rope. We're doing a top set and back off set here. Okay, I've done my top set already of about 10 reps, and then we're doing a back off set aiming for 15 plus reps, 15 or more reps. Use the long rope, boys. The short rope is very, very hard. It's very limiting in terms of the range of motion and will minimize the contraction you get. To maximize the contraction, use a long rope attachment like this. You can maximize the range of motion, get even better stimulus and contraction. Really open up the rope. The more you open up the rope, the harder the exercise is, but the better the contraction is. Beautiful exercise. And now we're going to finish with a cheeky bit of abs. And we're finishing with a little bit of ab work, boys. It's very important to train your abs. I'm lean bulking right now, so even on a bulk, I'm going to train my abs. On a cut, train your abs. On a bulk, training your abs on a bulk is probably more important than training them on a cut, because that's when the muscle's really built. On a cut, your abs are revealed, but on a bulk, that's when it's probably more important to train them, because that's when they're built, even though you can't see them. So make sure you train abs, whether you're bulking or cutting. We're doing a little bit of short, sharp ab work. That's my philosophy with abs, is short, sharp. We're doing 3 sets of 15 reps on hanging weighted knee raises. So we're doing 3 sets of 15 reps on weighted knee raises. 3 sets of 15 on weighted knee raises. My gym does not have that typical kind of pull-up dip station with the elbow rests and the back support where it's best to do it. That pull-up dip station, my gym doesn't have that, so I have to attach these onto the pull-up bar, these elbow rests, and do it this way, which is a little bit harder, a bit more uncomfortable, but it is what it is. You guys in your gym, you probably have a dip and pull-up station. Do it in there with the proper stability and elbow support and back support. It's a lot easier. Right, last set. And on this last set, we're doing 3 sets of 15, and on the last set of weighted knee raises, on the last set, once you hit failure around that 15th rep, once you finish that 15th rep on that last set, then immediately go into a body weight set, immediate drop set into a body weight set. And this is not a heavy movement. You're probably not going to be doing a very, very heavy dumbbell, okay? So 3 sets of 15. On the last set, do a drop set straight into body weight and try and get another 15 reps body weight. I'm gonna collapse. I'm gonna collapse. Oh, I'm gonna collapse. All right, boys. That's the session done. How to build a big chest, shoulders, and triceps complete. I've been in here for like nearly 5 hours. You don't want to train for this long, but I end up just my sessions, because I'm filming and talking, the sessions just end up extending. 4 to 5 hour session. This is how you build a big chest, shoulders, and triceps. My training philosophy. Start with the heavy compounds, the weighted dips, strict military press, then go on to your accessory work. Your machine side laterals, your rear delt work, then triceps, a heavy power movement with the overhead stuff, and then more of a finisher with the long rope, incline, seated extension, and then a little bit of ab work to finish. That's how you build a big chest, shoulders, and triceps. Compounds, accessories, triceps, tiny bit of abs. Chest, shoulders, and triceps, full push workout done. Nick Kajazi, the founder of the Mendez Cartel, the Natty King, the last true Natty Crusader, the one true heir to O'Hearn's Natty throne, and the president of the Natty Republic, El Presidente himself. Gentlemen, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, join the Mendez Cartel, link in the description. If you're interested in one-to-one coaching, go to my Instagram, link in the description, and DM me the word cartel. Natty Republic merch, boys, is on its way, is coming. And as always, chaps, long live King Charles III, and God bless Sir Winston Churchill.